What we've come to realise is that climate justice means social justice.
And last year, we created a play about what is happening in the Amazon rainforest.
We were fortunate enough to work with and perform alongside Javier Hualinga, who through local sponsorship was able to come to the UK from Ecuador to help explain to us directly what is happening to the rainforests and to Indigenous communities. But what are you going to do after this to raise awareness? And I thought one of the best ways of doing that was to create a film, to share what we think is quite a unique learning experience for us, and to help more people understand what this whole climate crisis is about and what we can actually do every day to help.
I thought it was mainly deforestation, you know, those issues that you hear all the time, a rugby field every minute, you know, which is happening and it's devastating. But when I got there, it was very clear that the oil industry had had a huge impact on what was happening in the rainforest with pollution. The Amazon is only so deep, and the pollution that it's causing is widespread, and their concern is that they've only got 25 years left of what's happening.
Oil extraction and other such activities may not take over as much of the forest as mass agriculture does, but they are all contributing to further devastation of our rainforests. WWF's website explains that as demand and prices for oil have soared worldwide, oil companies are now searching for oil in areas including the Amazon rainforest in Ecuador.
A lot can go wrong when trying to extract oil, such as spills resulting from burst pipelines. Toxic byproducts from the drilling may be dumped directly into local creeks and rivers, or find their way there from open waste pits. For animals and people living around these areas, their water becomes polluted with oil. We all know what that can do.
I think one of the most powerful things that Javier said to me was, up until recently, they didn't have a word for cancer.
It's 2020, and we've been making this video series for about 2 years now. And now one of the worst things that could have happened in Ecuador has happened. On April the 7th, 2020, the rupture of 3 oil pipelines caused a spill of around 15,000 barrels of oil into the Coca River. The Coca River continues to flow into the Napo River, and the effects of this oil spill have become noticeable as far as Peru and Brazil.
Good morning, my name is Danny. The Napo River, the main tributary of the Amazon. As you can see right now, the black thing, that's oil, is coming from the Andes. You know, the Napo River is coming from this part, it's going down the river. The problem here is a lot of people, a lot of community, indigenous people, they are living along the Napo River. The problem is here, you know, with the black thing, the oil. The people, they are drinking the Napo River. The indigenous people, they don't know what's happened with the oil here. This is the main things for all the indigenous people. That's a problem here, friend. But I understand a little bit. I need to understand more. But the rest of the people, the elders, they take a shower in this river. They drinking also. So we need to take the water from here, and then you can drink. And then we will have a problem, more problem in the future. When I was a child, we were drinking this water. The main problem in the Amazon is a cancer. Many people is dying. Actually, right now, we are suffering with coronavirus, but we are a little bit scared about it. So now we have this problem.
Around 3,400 families and 150 communities, mostly indigenous of the Quechua nationality who live on the banks of the Coca and Napo, have been affected by water pollution and the death of the fish that live in this ecosystem. As Danny said, the communities totally depend on the river as a water and food source, as well as for bathing and washing clothes. This puts their life at serious risk. Already dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, this oil spill has become a crisis within a crisis for them. For the first 5 days or so, crude oil flowed into the Coca River unhindered, and the authorities and oil-producing companies didn't consider it necessary to act as soon as possible due to COVID-19. Since then, groups have come to help clean. They provided equipment and knowledge, but most of the cleaning up is being done by locals. The locals have been given some forms of basic protective wear, including face masks, overalls, gloves, and rubber boots, and are being paid. But there is reason to be concerned about the longer-term health issues that can come from regularly breathing in the oil toxins. Many of them also currently have terrible skin rashes from the contaminated water touching the exposed areas of skin. It doesn't seem right that the locals are put in these positions when they are innocent of what's happened.
Due to these activities, indigenous communities are being killed while we power our homes and give fuel to our cars. Local communities are quite often unaware that the extraction process is happening right next to them, and when they are compensated, it's a very small amount.
Oil exploration, as well as causing pollution, also encourages harm to the rainforests through logging.
Forest is cut down to make roads so that oil companies can run their operations. This creates a way for other people to go into new areas of the forest to do what's called illegal logging, cutting down trees for wood and paper, for instance, that they can sell as products.
Sustainable logging can be a long-term source of income for people. However, often logging is not carried out in accordance to standards. This has a number of wide-ranging impacts, including loss of habitats and further deforestation.
In this time, in actual years, they're getting smarter and trying to block the path that nobody can really see the damage that they have done. So they put guards, and they have security private, and all of the opening deforestation or fields, mining fields or other areas are very well reserved because they leave a certain amount of forest on the edges that nobody can see the actual damage that's happening behind. So everything is closed. And even if anybody wants to take a real picture of that, the access is not easy. So you have to pass through a small entrance where it's packed with guards. And so that's how they can now hide the damage that they're doing.
The burning of oil, gas and coal is the primary cause of climate change, let alone the toxic pollution and massive deforestation from extracting it in the first place.
On an individual basis, we can alleviate oil's impact on the environment by reducing our own oil and gas consumption. This one's one for the adults. First-time car users or people looking to buy new cars, get one with good mileage or even better, an electric one. Equally, whether or not you drive, take public transport, cycle or walk where you can. If you're going overseas, find an alternative to flying the whole way.
Increasing insulation, reducing heating temperatures, choosing renewable energy supplies, reducing your use of energy appliances. These are all possible ways of reviewing the energy you consume at home.
Going back to food, buying local reduces food miles and therefore the amount of carbon being pumped into the air when being transported. This includes fruit and veg. If you're going out to a meaty restaurant, you can find out where the meat is sourced from.
As Catherine mentioned earlier, creating roads in place of forests makes way for loggers. Reducing pressure on our remaining forests can be done by taking simple steps to reduce your own consumption of these materials. Print double-sided, use kitchen cloths rather than kitchen roll, and a handkerchief instead of countless packets of tissues. Look for the logo FSC, the Forest Stewardship Council, to ensure any trees used in the products you buy come from sustainably managed forests. What's more, did you know you can get tree-free paper made from agricultural products like waste straw, so no tree is cut down in the process?
The long-term aim is for fossil fuels to be replaced by more renewable and sustainable energy sources. Many institutions, including businesses, banks and universities, are still investing in the fossil fuel industry. You can support campaigns that are demanding for these institutions to divest. Tune in to our 5th and final episode of this series, which looks at different ways of being an activist for greater change, change that goes beyond individual actions.
This is everybody's home. Let's all start to make a plan. Do whatever you may think you can. It starts with small and simple things. Then you'll see what you can bring. Oh, none of the answers lie with us, for we can decide if this all starts or not.